We're back, baby. It's the Horns Up Talking Texas podcast. Fisher, DJ, Nikki, Snacks, Crider. Get your horns up, gent. Big weekend in recruiting, big end of week in recruiting. I did a little mini show on it. Nick, I want to get your thoughts. We officially go to Bama, take their guys. We are the winners of the Saban, DeBoer, all the head coaching changes. Texas reaping the benefits. We're also getting movement on 2025 class. And guess what? You told me pre-show ain't too early for the 2026 class because we're getting movement there as well. Want to hear your thoughts on the recruiting, and then we'll get into a little Texas basketball as we beat Baylor in a season-saving game. I'm saying it.
Yeah, we've had a great week, and we're still not done. Adding all the Bama guys, Amari Nye Black, the tight end, Blackshire, the linebacker, Isaiah Bond, which is obviously the shiniest of the toys at wide receiver. Probably, one of the better receivers coming into college football next year. He's going to probably be on the Bolitnikoff watch list. And then Silas Bolden from Oregon State, who's a very versatile punt return, kick returner, and can play some slot. So no shortage of weapons here at Texas. Sark doing his thing as always. But yeah, you had mentioned that we're getting into the mix with the 2025 and 2026 class. Added an edge named Lance Jackson. He had a great junior day. Successful junior day when you come out with a guy who wants to commit right off the bat. So that's a big one for us, a big one that can, make some waves for that class next year. And then our first commitment we received for the 2026 class is running back out of Alito, Raysign Guillory. So he's a running back. I think right now he's listed as a 4-star. He has a chance to work his way up into a 5-star. He's got 2 years to prove that. But, RBU got to continue the mold here of what we've been building. We got Jarrett Gibson coming in, but CJ Baxter, Jaden Blue, all these guys building the RBU that we've been so, adept to saying about these horns for the last couple of years. So we're excited what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really amazing. The season never stops, especially with the recruiting cycle, transfer portal never stops. You're always recruiting constantly. I'm still curious to see what happens. I don't know if guys would jump ship from Michigan if Harbaugh leaves, right? So if Harbaugh leaves, we don't know it necessarily. Sorry, I was getting text messages that I have to reply to later. If Harbaugh leaves, we don't necessarily know if guys will move from Michigan to Texas, considering we play them week 2. But hypothetically, be very awesome if we could go and reap some of the guys if they do enter the transfer portal following him departing for the NFL in the coming days. Now, I think it's really awesome that we're going out and getting guys, big junior days. That's huge. And it just comes with winning. Like, guys want to be a part of this program and guys want to come in again, like we always say all the time. Like, if Texas is winning football games, guys want to join that and be a part of that and be a part of the SEC football. Now that we'll be there, they want to be a part of, like, Lance Jackson. He's an edge guy. Like, he's going to want to come in. He sees how productive we've been with a lot of those players. And it's the RBU as well. It's like, why not add your name to a list of guys that have been unbelievably successful, for as long as time, even when we weren't good in the mid 2000s. Like, they have been a really strong running back group. Even like Deontay Foreman's a guy, you think of in that cycle. So RBU is alive and well. It's great that we get a guy from the 2026 class, and obviously all the transfer portals that we've been dominating on is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the grind never stops. All gas, no brakes, as they say. But we got some big things to keep ahead. There's always more recruits that come in. There's always more official visits that come. Guys keep on adding their names to the transfer portal list, and you just got to stay active. But yeah, we're trending in the right direction every single day, every single week, and the game never stops. But hoops,
baby,
big win against Baylor at home the other day. Number 9 Baylor got knocked off by that last second buzzer beater by our man Tyrese Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a season-saving game. We had the West Virginia game, which was a disaster. West Virginia took down Kansas, so it's not looking too terrible. We see Oklahoma tomorrow night, which is exciting, on Tuesday night, and that's a big rivalry game in Norman that we have to win. They have Ortega and McCollum, 2 really strong guards. UCF was a disaster. West Virginia was a disaster. Texas Tech, obviously not a great start to Big 12 play in college hoops. And then we get the Baylor Bears at home. And any way you slice it, like, Baylor They have Scott Drew, who's won a national championship before. They are a true powerhouse in college basketball. They have Misi, their big man, who's a pro, and they have Jacoby Walter, who will probably be a top 10 pick and exemplify that, in my opinion, on Saturday. When really aggressive rebounding, great from the line, good at getting to the rack. Kind of reminded me of even more efficient game than Keontae George had against us last year, when he felt like he was getting to the line every single play.
Yeah.
But when push came to shove, Texas came out shooting, right? And Asmus had a really strong game, not only shooting the basketball, but for facilitating for us as well with 7 assists. You brought up Tyrese Hunter, who had the game-winning shot, and I like what Rodney Terry did with the no call on the timeout, and trusted our boys, had a good play that they knew to get to drawn up, they could execute, and caught Baylor on their heels defensively. And he ran it up the gut and piped it down the middle. And it was a really awesome take. Once he had a full head of steam and he was driving to the pan, like you were really confident he was going to score. Like he was moving down quick, and he had an excellent game. D'Souza coming into form. Mitchell, I think, we herald him all the time for coming back, and I think he'll still need another year of seasoning, but his role is getting more and more carved out. He's an uber athlete, and D'Souza was in foul trouble too in the game. But Shedrick was a nice spell guy for him. I would love to see us rebound a bit better, my personal opinion. I like Weaver as a defensive spark plug. Leaves a lot to be desired offensively. I love Brock Cunningham and what he brings, but ultimately I'm glad that he is towards the back end now of the rotation. He's a really good spark guy, really good glue guy, but there are other better basketball players in this team, and they need to be worked into the rotation more. I like, the two bigs getting good, valuable minutes, and Shedrick and D'Souza, of course, who's arguably our best player in a given game. And then Mitchell, like playing Cunningham's position, like leading the charge in minutes. And he's really strong defensively, and he's a real threat as a high flyer. And just a really nice element that not every team in college basketball has on offense. So really amazing win, saves our season. We would have been 1-4 in Big 12 play, which would have pretty much put a nail in the coffin, in my opinion, going forward, because it gets more daunting. Again, OU is really good. We have to play BYU. We have to play Kansas. Our schedule doesn't get any easier by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, we play Houston at home, thank God, in next week. And then, it's still a gauntlet. Iowa State's ranked. We're at Kansas. We have to go back to Tech, and we have to go to Baylor. This honestly was as much of a must-win game as we could have imagined in January.
Yeah, 100%. It changes the team morale and just what's going on in the locker room. You lose a game like that, against Baylor. This is one of the last times you play them. Is it the last time we play them on the schedule? Do we have them again? Because we're leaving the Big 12.
We go to Waco.
Okay. So we go to Waco, because I know that we don't play every team twice this year because we added so many new teams. But that's the last home game that you will see Baylor. So it's a resounding win. It's big for the program, big for the morale of the locker room, and just getting these guys, to feel good about themselves, because we're going to blink and February is going to be over and we'll be in March. And that's that. And that's when, you really need to start putting things together. This team, I still think, has a lot to prove. There's so many new guys that come in the building, and the transfers, young guys that have come up, but also there's some veteran leadership there that, really is looking to make a statement here and put a stamp on their college careers, and the clock is ticking. So hopefully they ride this momentum and they continue to roll with the punches, and they can continue to have success in conference play and knock off a string of wins. And once you get confident, anything can happen in March.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got to get there. Of course, I think West Virginia.
I think
it's not a
early
lock.
This season, we thought we were locked in to make it. We're like, this will be an easy, bid to get in there. But there's been some ugly losses that I think have made us question ourselves. But looks like we're getting back on track.
Yeah, we are, but we're swinging from our heels a little bit, like you're saying. Like the UCF loss is not good. The West Virginia loss is not good. The Cincinnati one, the Texas Tech one, I could stomach. Like they're always a good basketball program, no matter who their head coach is. But the West Virginia loss, yes, I know Kansas lost them. That's a really bad loss. And the UCF one, them coming all back into that game is pretty disastrous. So we are playing and get backs against the wall. Houston looks really excellent. They scare me. I don't think we'd be as lucky going into Baylor at the end of the season. So the real pickup wins, like our magic number, we're 13-5 right now. We're going to have to get to 20 wins somehow. I think we have the home games we have to really sweep almost, in my opinion. And that's Iowa State, West Virginia, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. We have to win all those games, and Oklahoma at the last game at the end of the year. That gets us to 18 wins. And then we're going to have to go on the road at TCU and win that game, and we're going to have to beat Baylor on the road. If all those things happen, and then that includes me anticipating us dropping a game against Houston at home, dropping at Houston, at Kansas, at Texas Tech, and at Baylor. But if all those other things happen, I think we make the dance, probably as like an 8 or 9 seed.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're optimistic. We think this could happen, but at the end of the day, like, you guys got to perform on the court. One thing that I forgot to mention about the football recruiting, we had mentioned last week that DeAndre Robinson, D lineman, was looking to get out of his letter of intent, and that ended up happening. And we thought he would go to LSU, right, to follow Bo Davis. Committed to Florida.
Mistakes.
Pretty interesting. So it's cool. Mistake. I mean, they stole one from us, but we stole a bigger one from them in Xavier Filsaime. So I guess I'll take that switch, but yeah, at the end of the day, look, if a guy's unsure about being here and doesn't want to rep the burnt orange, then whatever. We're better off without you. But wish you the best of luck. But, the Bo Davis thing, there's a ripple effect. Hopefully we fill the shoes here pretty soon. I've been hearing some pretty cool names. But at the end of the day, I mean, they just got to fill that position with someone that's going to inspire these young men to be animals out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully Jabbar Muhammad's taking a visit to Alabama, but we have his cousin there in Malik. So hopefully that news comes this week and we lock that down. It'll be pretty exciting.
I mean, look, it's cool to go back to go to Bama and like play for your head coach that you've played for the last couple of years. But like, how many guys have the opportunity to play with family, at the same university as family? Not many. And so I think that's an X factor that Texas has, an edge. The Muhammad cousins on each side, Muhammad Islands, across from each other. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, great stuff. We'll see you guys. We have a special one. We teased it last week. It was supposed to happen last week. It's happening this week, tomorrow. Very exciting. Something we never done in the Horns Up history of the show. So get pumped for it. Fisher, DJ, Nikki, Snacks Crider. We'll see you guys next time.
Psychedelics.
We out ya. We love ya.